In today's episode, Chef Kendra will show Elliot Moskowitz, founder and CEO of Prairie Street, how to make her delicious chicken schnitzel using Prairie Street's chicken breast cutlet.
Look at how perfectly cooked that is. I love that the air fryer keeps it nice and crispy on the outside, but it is so moist on the inside. It's perfect. I love it. Welcome to the Prairie Street Culinary Kitchen. I am your chef today, Chef Kendra, and I am joined by the founder and CEO of this incredible company, prairiestreet.co, Elliot Moskowitz.
Kendra, nice to be with you again. I'm excited to see what you're going to do for us. So tell us what you're making.
Excellent. So today we're going to be making chicken schnitzel and potato latkes done in the air fryer. So not only is it a new product that we're showing, but it's also a new to me piece of equipment that I really, really love, and I think that our audience will as well. So
yeah, we are adding to our portfolio of products chicken, and that gives us a wider latitude on our channel to show you different products as well to make. You've done a great job in the beef, lamb, and veal space, and now we're going to expand portfolio. I personally never made chicken schnitzel, so I'm excited to see what you're going to do for us.
Chicken schnitzel actually was brought to Israel by the Ashkenazi Jews, and it has made its way around the world. Austria calls chicken schnitzel the authentic Austrian dish. Even in Japan, they have a chicken tonkatsu, which again is a piece of meat. We're using chicken, pounded thinly, breaded, and then fried. So it makes its way around. It's a global dish now.
So what kind of chicken are you using?
So today we're gonna be using the boneless, skinless chicken breast. So really quickly about the chicken, I already did trim off any of like excess fat. There's always a little bit of excess fat, so you just cut it right off. So pounding, really quick. This is the culinary gavel instead of the legal gavel. I'm going to use the flat side instead of the jagged side, which is for tenderizing. The chicken doesn't need to be tenderized. So I'll show you how to pound a couple, and then would you like to finish it up? All right. Now you want to notice too that obviously the chicken is not the same size all the way throughout, right? The chicken breast. We're thicker up at the top and thinner down at the bottom. And I want to go for that 1 inch kind of thickness. So that's really going to be my guide.
You want a uniformity there so it cooks evenly.
That's exactly right. Okay. You're so good. So when I pound, I'm just going to hold like this piece and just gently give it some wax. Now I'm going to let you work through this side of it, but I'll be right here making sure.
So we're going to hold that down so it doesn't make a mess.
Exactly. And you actually want to spend a little bit more time on the thicker part of it instead of the thinner part.
And you want to try to be the same consistency as the rest.
Exactly.
And I think we're good to go.
I'm going to give it just a little.
You should. Not my forte.
I'm not afraid. That's the thing too. Another good reason why you have the plastic over top, but it's not going to splatter everywhere. Beautiful. So let's talk about the dredge. Okay. The dredge is how we're going to bread the chicken, okay? We're going to go from dry to wet to dry. I have some just plain AP flour here, a couple of eggs that I'm going to season a little bit, and then some breading that I'll talk about in a minute. Okay. But the reason why we do this is because we want the breading to bind to the chicken. So that's the point of the dredge, okay?
It's like putting oil on the meat before you put some spices.
Yeah, exactly.
It holds, it's a binder.
It's a binder. Before we get started with all this, I just want to season up a couple of things first, okay? So again, the flour, no seasoning goes into that. It's a very light coating. The eggs, however, I like to add in a little bit of Dijon mustard, okay?
What does that do?
It's just going to give it a little pizzazz, all right? It's very lightly flavored.
I think in Kendra talk they would call it je ne sais quoi.
That's exactly, it's a little je ne sais quoi. All right, so we'll give that a little mix. Okay, put this down to the side. Now, the breadcrumbs. So traditionally, matzah meal would be used for a chicken schnitzel. However, I like adding in a little something to it. So I actually did about 30% matzo meal and 70% panko breadcrumbs. Now the reason being is because I think that the matzo meal gives it a nice kind of like even coating, but the panko gives it a really nice crunch, and we're really going for that crunch. So 30% matzo meal, 70% panko breadcrumbs. I'm gonna season it with some coarsely ground black pepper and some pink Himalayan salt. Then I'm gonna add in a little bit of fennel seasoning, okay? So we just have some plain ground fennel, and nice and light, but again, it just kind of gives it that little extra je ne sais quoi, as I like to say. Okay. Traditionally, when you're doing a dredge, you would have the breadcrumbs in a very similar dish. So you just go from one to the other, and then you put it onto your rack. However, we are in the mode of keeping things nice and clean and easy. So we are going to use a Ziploc bag.
This is why they pay me the big bucks.
That's right, exactly. So I'm gonna pour this in here. Nice, easy cleanup. Good.
Smells good.
So I'm gonna use my right hand to first go into the flour. And I wanna make sure I get everything really coated. And then this piece and over. Oh, this is gonna be good again. Okay, maybe you wanna bring the bag over here, that way I don't drop any. Okay, so you are going to shake that.
Numero uno is done.
All right, so let's get this guy out, and he's gonna go right onto this tray, which we will talk about momentarily, but let's get number 2 going. So I'm gonna make sure it floured into the egg wash and right in. Perfect, give it a good shake. Now I love the breading part, so make sure you don't.
I think most people do.
I think so too.
Okay, there you go.
Good. All right, let's see how you did. Good, so we're gonna set this to the side.
And in a previous video, I showed you how to make Hanukkah potato latkes, and here's a quick recap. Place a clean dish towel on top of a large mixing bowl, grate your potatoes and onion, wring out the excess liquid, combine with matzo meal, egg, horseradish, fennel, kosher salt, and ground black pepper and mix. Place parchment paper on the tray, drizzle with olive oil, and spoon out the mixture and press into little patties. Et voila! You are ready for the air fryer.
All right, so now we get to talk about this amazing air fryer by Instant. Just like Instant Pot, which you know I ended up loving, even though I am a self-proclaimed Luddite, it is so intuitive to use, and the air fryer is the same exact way. What's really great about this particular one is that you have these different modes. You can bake in it, broil, roast, toast. It's really nice because then you have less appliances on your countertop. The other great thing is that it doesn't overheat. So your house is not going to be, you don't have to put the oven on to 375 or 400 and the entire house heats up. So it's great to use in the summertime too.
Excellent.
What's really good about this recipe is that you are going to be cooking everything at the same time. So it has the same temperature, which is 375°F, and it also has the same cook time, which is 15 minutes.
Excellent.
Let me show you how to use this. Really, really simple. So I'm going to hit the big silver button, and the air fryer is already blinking. So I'm gonna click this again. If I wanted to go to roast or toast, I just turn this, and then whatever mode is blinking is the one that it's on. Okay. Air fryer blinks, click it again. It's already set to 375, but if I wanna go up, I turn the dial. If I wanna go down, I turn the dial. Click it again, that sets my temperature. Now I'm into my time. If I wanna go up, turn the dial, down, same exact thing. 15 minutes, perfect. Click that, hit start. The on is gonna tell me that it's preheating. It's gonna give me a little ding notification to let me know when it's ready to put my food in. So I already gave our latkes just a little tiny bit of extra virgin olive oil on top, just to kind of help the tops really get that golden, gorgeous brown. And I'm gonna do the same thing with the chicken schnitzel.
Do you do that on both sides?
I'm gonna do it on both sides, but I'm gonna do it on the second side when I flip it. The ding.
We're ready.
We're ready. Okay, so I'm going to put the potato latkes in first, and they're gonna go in the bottom.
Okay.
All right. So latkes in. Okay.
How do you decide what goes on the top and the bottom when we have two different things?
So the reason why I'm putting the potato latkes on the bottom is because they're in the sheet pan tray, which is going to catch anything. Again, I'm keeping it nice and clean.
Right.
And then the air fryer chicken's gonna go on top. That way if anything crumbles down.
Actually, it could even add a little flavor to the latkes because it will have like some drippings. Somewhere.
That's exactly right.
There we
Yes.
go.
All right, so we're gonna close this up. Okay. So the chicken's in the middle, latkes in the bottom. I'm going to let this thing do its thing. It's going to let me know when we're halfway through, so at about 7.5 minutes.
Right.
I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna definitely flip the chicken, give it another little drizzle of olive oil on the other side, put it back in, finish it off, and then in 15 minutes we can eat.
It's excellent. I can't wait to try that.
I know. All right, we are halfway through the cook time. I'm going to just take out the chicken really quickly, give it a flip, give it some olive oil, and put it right back in to finish the cook. But look at that color, see?
Amazing.
I know, it's so good.
Put a little drizzle on.
Just a little drizzle. Because you still want to get that golden color, but it's also the flavor of the olive oil.
Okay.
Really key. Okay. Back in. The latkes, they're just gonna go.
Okay.
Yep, they look perfect. And we're back in about 7.5 more minutes, and then we can eat.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
Thank you. It's time.
My favorite time of the videos.
My favorite time too. All right. So you can see what's so nice about it. Look at that beautiful golden crust that we have.
Amazing.
All the way around, all right? So these are big slices of chicken. It depends on how hungry you and your family, your party guests are. But the nice thing is that you can also slice it up. You can serve it like this, but it does make a really beautiful, beautiful platter. So,
Absolutely.
and then obviously if you have kids, you can slice it into like chicken finger sizes.
Excellent.
Okay.
So some people, if they wanted to have crust all around as chicken fingers, you would cut the slices before you put it in the air
Yeah.
fryer. And then you could put them in a rack like this.
Exactly.
And you'd have that crust all around.
Crust all around, which is very important. Okay, look at how perfectly cooked that is.
Looks amazing.
I mean, it's incredible. I love that the air fryer keeps it nice and crispy on the outside, but it is so moist on the inside. It's a beautiful, beautiful product and a beautiful dish.
Looks tender, juicy,
It's perfect.
not drowning in oil.
No, and that's like the nice thing about it. So you're still gonna have that flavor of the olive oil without it being like too oily.
Amazing.
Okay. Now, schnitzel, you have lemon and you have parsley. I'll just give a little bit of a squirt. And what's so nice about this is it just kind of like wakes it up a little bit. It's a nice little freshness. Okay?
Ladies first.
Oh, you're so kind. I think you should take that special
Ladies
piece.
first, chefs first.
This one. I love it. Wait until you try it. And you get that same juiciness.
It's amazing. And if you don't have the crust, you don't have anything.
That's right.
And that's what it gives you without that saturation in
That's
oil.
right. And again, that really was from the combination of the matzah, the panko, but then also the drizzling of the olive oil.
Right.
Because you want to really get that golden color.
So that flip, I think, also made a big difference.
Definitely.
Even with a pan like this, it wasn't the same crispiness as the other side.
That's right.
So that was a power move.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Next.
All right.
What's next?
Latkes.
Okay.
All right, you can't have chicken schnitzel without some latkes. So, look at how beautiful these guys came out. How beautiful is that? You have to have applesauce with potato latkes. We didn't have any applesauce, but we had apples. So I just cut them up really quickly, put them into a Pyrex. I actually wasn't able to get to the stovetop. Normally I would put them in a little saucepan and just cook them over like a medium heat until they get really soft. That's literally it. But I zapped it in the microwave for like 4 minutes. So it was 2 apples, zapped in the microwave, and then a tad bit of coarse kosher salt, just to really pronunciate that sweetness. So really quick homemade applesauce for you. All right, so may I get you a latke? My dear. And I'll get myself one too. I have to have one. You can't really share latkes.
And I can eat before you, so you start.
Okay. I just want to take one bite of the latke by
So you
itself.
get it pure.
Pure bite. And you can see that nice crunch on the outside. Oh my God. You have to have it pure first. So that little bit of fennel that we put in there, and then that little bit of horseradish, you're gonna get that little kick.
The kick makes a big difference too.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I know, it's like such like a hint of something. It was the little tiny bit.
Now I'm gonna try the microwave applesauce.
Try the microwave applesauce. And you see how like, I mean, the applesauce is just kind of fun because everybody has their preference, whether it's gonna be like, you know, baby food smooth or nice and chunky. I like it more rustic. I'm from the country.
You try it. It adds a lot of texture. Having the chunkiness, especially with the crust of the latkes, it's a perfect complement texture-wise.
Definitely. This is delicious. Chicken schnitzel and potato latkes done in the air fryer and just ever so slightly elevated, right? You know, everything from that little bit of Dijon mustard that was in the egg to the fennel that we added into the breadcrumb, and then of course that bit of horseradish into the potato latke. I mean, it's a comfort meal, but it's elegant.
And it's healthier because there's just so much less oil, and it was my inaugural meal on an air fryer.
Good.
That was interesting. So great, this was a fantastic recipe. Again, you kicked it out of the park, and we appreciate it. You should come back every Sunday at 2 o'clock. We have these great videos by Kendra and our other guest chefs at 2 p.m. You could see us all on social at prairiestreet.co. And the most important thing is come to our website, prairiestreet.co, experience our products, get them shipped to you nationwide in a couple of days, and you'll see you have an experience that you've never had before. Our videos, our products, our knowledge, we make a big commitment to that. Tell your friends what we're doing, pass it around. We love to see your support in the future. Until then, we see you next Sunday at 2 p.m. Kendra, amazing being with you again.
Elliot,
and
thank
I'm
you.
sure we'll be doing something together in the near future. Take care.
Subscribe to our channel now and set your notifications so you don't miss our latest recipes and chef-led tutorials. Then head over to prairiestreet.co to shop for your next big meal.